Welcome to Jake's VR Fight Club Network. Today I'm going to show you how to build my flight stick. I've had so many requests for how to build it. I've decided I'm going to show you how, and today is the day. But first, before we get started, I'd like to ask you to subscribe, like, and share this video and all the videos as well. Now, let's get to that video. First thing we're going to do is go over parts. What I use is a 1/2 inch MDF board. You can use plywood board. It could be 3/4 inch. It could be 1/2 inch. It's whatever works best for you. You could even make it out of steel if you wanted. 1 1/4 inch floor flange. 1 1/4 inch 4-inch nipple. 1 1/4 inch rubber coupler. 1 1/4 inch PVC pipe, usually about 24 inches, and then we cut it down to the size that you like. 1/4 inch neoprene padding for underneath the base, and diamond shaped vinyl runner for the top, just to give it a nice pretty look and to make it a little bit more durable. As far as the shape of the base, you can make it any way you want. I prefer this design that I have here. It seems to work just fine for me. The base dimensions overall are 20 inch by 26 inch, and then I cut the notch out that slides underneath the chair. The dimensions for that section that slides underneath the chair is 9 inches by 7.5 inches. Again, you can make those any size you want. This is what works for me. It's been tested over and over again, and it works perfectly. On this design, you can see that I cut out the horseshoe shape on the wider section of it so that you can slide it under a chair if you had a leg right in the center. But you don't have to do that. If your plan is to add rudder pedals in the future, I would leave it squared at the top and not cut the notch out. And if you're going to add the rudder pedals, you may even want to increase it by maybe a foot longer in the front so that you can add the pedals so that it's all one solid piece. Let's get to cutting it. I use a jigsaw. You could use a scroll saw. You can use a bandsaw. Any way you want to cut it, that's completely up to you. Once the cuts have been made, I like to use this 8600 nose bond to adhere the vinyl cover to it. Make sure that you got a nice even spread of the glue across the board. Try not to leave any spots. As you can see, I'm adding this to scrap wood just to demonstrate how to apply it if you don't know how to use this type of adhesive material. Okay, now that the vinyl is dry and has been trimmed, let's go ahead and add the flange. As you can see, I like to put it about 11 inches from the back of the base and about 8 inches off to one of the sides, which will put it right in the center. I mark it with my marker, so that way I know where to drill the hose. Once I've drilled the hose, I run the screws through it, add the nuts. Now I'm ready to add the piping. I take my 1 1/4 inch PVC pipe and I cut it down to 23 inches. That works for me. You may want to try different measurements for yourself. For me, 23 inches is what works. I'm ready to mold the controller mount. I take out my heat gun, heat up the PVC until it gets pliable. Doesn't take very long, couple minutes. Once I have it where it's nice and flexible, I put my custom-made mold in it, let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes, and then remove it. And it's perfectly shaped to match my Oculus Quest controller. Once the mold is ready and cooled down, I sand the PVC pipe, I primer it, and then I add paint to it. You can paint it any color you like. I like this OD green. After that's dry, it's time to assemble the flight stick. I add the 1 1/4 inch by 4 inch steel nipple. I like to use the 4 inch. If you needed to make it taller, you could use a 6 inch. You could use a 1 foot nipple. That's completely up to you what works best for you, but what works for me is 4 inches. Now you're ready to add the 1 1/4 inch rubber coupler. This coupler will come with 2 hose clamps. You'll probably have to loosen them up so that you can slide them over the nipple, and also so you can slide the PVC pipe into it. Make sure that it goes in past the hose clamp, but not too far past. You want to make sure you've got a gap in between the steel nipple and the PVC pipe so that it's got room to flex. Now at this point, you can stop right where you're at. You can use it like that. It works absolutely fine. However, I like to add the hood to it. What I do is I take a piece of pleather. You can find that at Hobby Lobby. I cut it. I believe it's 17 inches by 12 inches. I cut it. I sew it. As you can see, I put a seam on it. It's got elastic on the narrow end so that it kind of stays in place. Now you can see that the controller does not sit perfectly inside the molded PVC pipe. I do that because I want to come back and add this leather tape. The leather tape allows it to slide in smoothly and also protects the controller from getting banged up so that it's not the plastic on plastic from the PVC. As you can see, it's somewhat of a chore to get this tape on, but well worth the effort. Of course, you can do it any way you like. This works for me. Once I get about an inch, inch and a half inside, I fold the remaining part of it over the edge. Sometimes it's a challenge to get that to come out smoothly, but you only need about a quarter of an inch, maybe a half inch of smoothness all the way around the top so that you can add the leather handle grip to make it nice and finished. Now it's time to add the leather grip. Again, this is what I like to do. You can do it however you like. This particular product works best for me. Real leather. You can get this at Hobby Lobby. I've tried using the faux leather and it really didn't work for me. The genuine leather worked the best. I believe it works better because it has the rawhide backing to it that the glue loves to stick to. So you cut it down to measurements. Usually for me, I go with 5.5 inches by 7 inches. This glue I find works the best, and again, you can get this at Hobby Lobby. Wrap it around the handle just to make sure that you have everything covered. Of course, you can trim it you can trim it however you like. That's completely up to you. Add the glue, wrap it around, let it sit for a few hours before you actually use it. And as you can see, that controller slides perfectly into it. Fits real nice when you grab it. When you grab the grip, it feels great in your hand because of the leather. The controller slides in and out smoothly because of the tape. It's really a nice. It feels great. It feels durable, and you can see that you still have access to the buttons on the controller. So now that you've seen how it works, go build it, go fly, and enjoy it. Please leave a comment, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with your friends, and I'll see you in the VR skies.